Hello, and welcome to the Intuitive Heart Healing Podcast. My name is Valerie McLaughlin, and I am your host for this podcast. I started this podcast because I really wanted to bring healing and love to this world, to share experiences and tools and stories, downloads, anything that can help you on your healing journey and help open your heart. And with anything, I always tell you all to discern what is truthful for you. Take what you believe to be true, and whatever doesn't, go ahead and leave it right there and move on. And all that I share are helpful hints, helpful tools to help bring awareness to yourself, to situations. And some things may work and resonate with you, and some things may not. And, because we're all unique individuals, we're all unique in our energy and our experiences, and we all have come here to Earth to experience things a little bit differently. And you know what? That's okay, because that's part of the experience. We are divine beings of love and light, but we are also humans. And we're also here having a human experience. We're also here to help Mother Earth evolve and grow. And in order for Mother Earth to evolve and grow, we ourselves as individuals have to evolve and grow, or we don't. And then we don't help it evolve and grow. But in a way, we do, because your resistance to want to evolve and grow will help inspire others. But also, as you evolve and grow, you help to inspire even more. So today's topic is love. It's always love. But let's break it down. Today's topic is acceptance. And so we're going to talk about acceptance, because really accepting others, accepting situations for what they are, is a vibration of love. And we don't always have to understand things in order to accept. It's kind of like forgiveness. When we do forgiveness work, it's not about the other person. It's not about letting somebody off the hook or not letting somebody off the hook. It's about yourself, and it's about self-love, and it's about expressing more love in this world. And when we talk about acceptance, accepting others, it's a form of love. And I'm going to share a little bit about my journey into love and accepting myself, and also a little bit about what I'm experiencing right now. And my backstory, my growth story, whatever you want to call it, will kind of maybe shed some light on why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling right now, why I really want to talk about acceptance right now. There's a lot going on in this world. There's a lot of anger. There's a lot of hate. And there's a lot of people standing their grounds on what they believe in, what their beliefs are, whether it's culturally, religiously, through your experience, whatever it is. I'm not judging anybody for anything. I'm just expressing how we're holding on to these things, and we're not always accepting people for who they are or for their beliefs, and accepting them with an open heart, because we want to stay firm in our beliefs, which we can, and still accept other people. So let's kind of I want to share my story with you, and just tell it as I go and see what happens as things go on. So as far as I can remember, at a young age, anywhere from maybe 7 to 10, my mom always told me that as soon as I could talk and as soon as I could express myself, I told her what I wanted and how I wanted to dress, how I wanted my hair, what colors I wanted to be in. And I have two of the most amazing parents out there. You know, I couldn't ask to come to earth and have better parents than I actually did, because my parents have always allowed myself, my brother, my sister, to express ourselves however we chose to express ourselves. Even if my parents didn't understand what we were going through, even if my parents didn't necessarily like our color choices in our dress or how we wanted to rearrange our room, they allowed ourselves to express ourselves because they understood the importance of our individual. And we are three uniquely different people. And I'm speaking of myself, my sister, and my brother. And there are similarities that run through us, you know, and you can find that with a lot of people. Like, there are similarities that run through them, but we all are unique and individual. So from a young age, my mom has always said to me, as soon as you told me you didn't want to wear dresses anymore, I stopped putting you in dresses. As soon as you told me you wanted to cut your long hair, we went and got your hair cut. And it's something she's always said to me. And looking back on it, I realized that one of the reasons why she said it to me is she wanted me to realize how much they supported me, and supported my siblings in our choices and what we did. And so from a very young age, and I would say 5 or 6 years old, maybe a little bit younger, I stopped wearing dresses. I cut my hair, and I had short hair all the way until high school. For some reason, I decided to grow it out and stood in another expression of myself, but we'll get to that. And I chose the way I wanted to dress. I wanted to be in jeans, and I did not want to wear the color pink or the color purple. Green was my color of choice. I always liked greens, and I always liked to be in bright colors. I still like bright colors today. And sometimes I would take the designs. I liked crazy designs, and I put crazy design and different crazy design together and create an outfit. And my parents would just look at me and just kind of go, okay. And they would do that. And believe me, my brother and my sister didn't really go through this as much. My brother did, through his different stages. And they just loved and supported me. But one of the things that I experienced from a very young age, I could tell you, when I was 9 years old, my grandfather passed away, and I had not met a lot of his family, except for my Aunt Helen. She was always in our life, but his brothers and sisters, I haven't met much at all. And 2 or 3 of them came to me and they said, "Oh, Stephen, I'm so sorry for your loss." And I'm like, believe me, I look like my Uncle Stephen a lot, to the point where my grandmom had trouble looking at pictures and telling us apart. We'd have to like date the age because we looked so similar. And but as a young person assigned female at birth, I couldn't comprehend at that moment as a 9-year-old why they were calling me Stephen. He's a boy. I'm not. And I couldn't understand it. And it hurt. I remember going to somebody and saying something about it. And then I pretty much kind of try to hide from everybody because I didn't want to put myself through that. And I didn't understand it. And I could tell you stories where I would be at like the roller skating ring in the female bathroom, using the bathroom, and getting yelled at by mothers because they thought I was a little boy and I didn't belong in that bathroom. And I remember going, I don't understand what your problem is because I'm a girl. But all they did was they looked at me. And they saw a person with short hair, not dressed in dresses, dressed in jeans, because I love jeans, or corduroys, in more quote-unquote what they would call boy colors, or with my favorite team, whether it was the Phillies or most likely the Phillies. And they would, based on my looks, decide what gender they thought I was and berate me for being in the bathroom I was assigned at, which was female. And I've always considered myself female. I just chose to express myself the way I wanted to express myself. And my parents accepted me, and I absolutely love them for them and love that they allowed me to experience life this way, because it is what has made me that way. And when I was in second grade, I remember having to get ready for my first communion. And I didn't understand why I had to put on a dress. I didn't want to wear dresses. Dresses were not me. And I didn't want to go through this whole process and wear a dress. And I remember thinking to myself, because I questioned a lot of things when I went to church and Catholic school, or no, we didn't go to Catholic school because I told my mom I would never go because they make you wear skirts and I would never wear one. But CCD we would go to, and I would always question, not necessarily out loud, but to myself, and questioning why things were. And I believe curiosity is a great thing. And questioning things is not wrong. And I might have asked a few questions here and there outwardly, never done disrespectfully, done because I was curious and I wanted to understand. But I couldn't understand why the way I dressed had to be a certain way to go to receive something from God. Why couldn't I go and be whoever I felt like being at the time, or dressing at the time, however I wanted to express myself, and go to God and receive whatever it is that God wanted me to receive? And believe me, I believe to this day that I can show up however I want in front of God and have my conversations with God, and that He's going to love and support me no matter what. Because God is amazing, and He has given us our own free will. And the reason why He's given us our own free will is because He wants us to freely experience life as humans that we are, and make our own choices. And He is always there to support and love us along the way, no matter what. But I couldn't understand what the difference was. Why, little boys had to be dressed in suits and ties, and why little girls had to be in dresses and had to have white on. And I didn't understand that. And I didn't want to do that. I did not want to go to church that day. I did not want to experience that way because I didn't want to be in a dress, let alone in white. White was not my favorite to be in with at all because I was always getting something on it and there. And these are things and that I've always had questions about. And throughout my whole life growing up, I had short hair. Even when I did develop as a woman, people would still call me sir. Excuse me, sir, and things like that. And it would bother me because that wasn't me. That wasn't who I am. And I would get very angry about it. And so in high school, I decided that I was going to change my appearance. I lost a lot of weight. I allowed my hair to grow out. And I decided to try on some different looks. And I would wear skirts. I wore a dress to my high school graduation. And I will tell you this, I did not feel comfortable at all. At all, at all. I remember walking down the street to a job interview and I had a skirt on and all these guys hooting and hollering, making these things. And I was like, I'm done. I'm done. This is not what I want. This is not how I feel. And not soon after that, all those went into the trash and I went from one extreme to another where I was wearing, now I didn't want to be seen at all, complete black, baggy clothes. And it didn't matter that what size I was. I was done and I wanted to find a different way to express myself where I felt comfortable walking, comfortable being. And in the year, I think it was 2000, was the last time I wore a dress, and I will never wear one ever again. And I have a great sister that when she got married and asked me to be a bridesmaid, she said, I even found somebody that will make a pantsuit out of the bridesmaid's dress so you don't have to wear a dress. And I share this with you because it's very relevant to a lot of things that are happening today. And in 2020, when I started to date a woman, she asked me if I ever went by non-binary, and I said no. And at the time, really, I didn't know a lot about it. Yes, I had been part of the LGBTQIA community, but I was very disconnected to what was going on. And I didn't really know. And when I talked to her, I expressed myself in a way, and sometimes I like to stand in my masculine energy, and sometimes I like to stand in my feminine energy. And in those moments, I express myself how it feels to be in the feminine energy and how maybe I want to dress. Maybe I want flowing pants on, and maybe I want board shorts on or shorts on, or, it doesn't matter. It's just, however I feel is how I choose to dress and express myself. And to me, it was never about gender and gender identity. And that's my own personal journey. And everybody has their own journey throughout this. But it really got me to start to dive into understanding that And it also had me questioning myself. And I'm going to be honest, I don't have it all figured out. It's part of the journey. But I do know that in today's world that we are living in, where people are having all this anger towards drag queens and drag kings and how they dress, all these bills that are passing out throughout the world, the changes to people that are transgender, it has sparked an anger within me. And I know that this anger stems to all those experiences I talked to you about growing up. I do not call myself transgender. I do not call myself non-binary. I do sometimes refer to myself as gender fluid. And I do go by she, her pronouns. But when people are disrespectful to other people based on their religion, their culture, their skin color, or how they express themselves, or for them to be non-binary or transgender, and if I'm using terminology that might be offensive to somebody, I apologize. But we're not loving, accepting people. Just because I like to wear my hair short has nothing to do with you. And societies have changed along the way. And we don't have to understand somebody or something to love and accept it. If somebody is not physically hurting themselves, if somebody is not physically hurting others, and they choose to express themselves a certain way, what is wrong with that? If somebody was born a boy and they've always felt like a woman, and they are now expressing themselves how they have always truly felt, what harm is that doing to you? What harm is that doing to you? If somebody chooses to have their hair short or long, braids, no braids, that is not doing any harm to you. Love and acceptance goes a long way. Accepting people's uniqueness, accepting people's differences is not hurting you. It's not discrediting you. It's about that person living their truth, living authentically, being themselves. And you don't have to understand it. You don't have to understand why somebody chooses to put artwork on their face, on their arms, on their body. You don't have to understand why people put piercings in their ears. And when you sit in judgment of these people that are doing this, you are not being the higher vibration of love. And if you stood in acceptance and say, it's not what I would choose to do, and accept their piercings, their tattoos, you are being in that high vibrational love. So as people fight against other people for being different than they are, because I say I'm different all the time. I use the word different all the time to describe myself, but somebody else might not. They might choose this. They may choose different words to express themselves. And I love and accept them for those words. But when we are choosing not to love and accept somebody, when we are choosing to try to erase people's uniqueness and individuality, we are dividing ourselves. We are not uniting under love. We are not uniting under this oneness that we are. We are creating division. We are creating anger, and we are creating hate. And I have a ton of anger in my heart right now that I've been reflecting on and working through. And when I see certain things, it really hurts. And I am not somebody that has experienced some of these hateful, hurtful experiences that other people have experienced. One is because I've always had a loving, supporting family. Other people do not have that love and support. Other people's struggles have been different. And doesn't make anything better than worse or wrong or right. But I know that when I see that people aren't willing to open up their hearts, to listen and be curious, it's creating less love in this world. But if we create this acceptance, we listen with our hearts, we allow people to be their own individuals, we can spread so much more love in this world. And I want you all to take whatever resonates with you. And hopefully go out and open your hearts even more and more and more. And if you have strong opinions one way or another, take some time and reflect on where this is coming from. I've taken a lot of time, and I'm going to be taking a lot more time. Just even talking about this, there are tears and sadness that has come up sharing this story with all of you. And to me, that is another layer of healing that is to happen for my growth, for my well-being. And maybe this has triggered another layer of healing for you. Or maybe it has helped you to understand somebody else's journey to who they are and to their truth. I hope you guys choose love. And I hope you all let more love into your life, into your heart, and you spread more love in this world. Love is what is going to bring us together. Love is what's going to unite us. And love is what's going to help us to accept everybody for who they are. Being a lesbian was not a choice for me. It is who I am. Being transgender is not a choice for people. It is who they are. Being non-binary, gender fluid is not a choice. It's the truth of who we are as beings. Having different hair, different skin color is not a choice of who we are. Maybe I shouldn't have used hair because people do dye it, but our natural born hair, the texture, the style, it's not a choice. It's who we are. It doesn't make us bad. It doesn't make us good. It is who we are, and it is not a choice. And what we can do as beings is to love and accept people for who they are. Acceptance and love will help raise the vibration of this planet. And if you are experiencing anger and hate and aggression, take some time, open up your journals. Journal about what's going on. Bring some healing in, however that looks for you. And allow yourself to open your heart more. Allow yourself to heal, to let go of it. And go out and spread some love in this world. I am sending all my love to all of you. Until next time, bye-bye for now.